Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. And for the returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back. Today I would like to share how I made this heart-shaped US flag keychain. And this is based on the pattern which I just submitted and it got accepted. It's a 92217 on bracelet book. And on the pattern I made it on the rectangle background, but for this one I shaped just as I have shaped a few other patterns, which you could probably check on my tutorials. And so this one I used the clean back alpha technique, as I have been doing these days, which was developed by Nothing Addict on Instagram. And but for this one I used that technique only here, and the other part I just use, I'm not sure if it's even called a technique, but to just put the threads on the size that you need and then just alternate. So I'd like to show how I did it on this pattern and make sure that the right threads that you would like to use is on the right side. So, alright, so let's get started. Okay, so first we make the initial loop here, and this I have already explained several times in my very first heart-shaped tutorials or my most recent one. So please check those tutorials if this tutorial you find it too quick. So I just fold the 7 of the 30 centimeters threads into half, take the 60 centimeters thread and pass through and make the first lark head knot. In the center. And then I found this loop probably better for this one to make 7 knots on each side. So just make 7, okay, backward, forward knot on this side. Now the other side, 7, forward, backward knot. So 7 on each side and the first center one, so in total 15 lark head knots to start. Okay, so we will start from the right side, and then the first string you use is the red string. So the 1 meter red string, please feed right next to the right side here. And then we'll use the white string in the next one, so please be ready. I'll just bead here. Just So first we divide the strings coming out from the loop into four. So 3, 1, 1, and 3. So make one forward, backward, backward, knot, backward knot, and then backward forward knot. Sorry, it's because I use the straight edge technique, so it will be forward, two backwards, and then with the last 3 yellow or gold threads, please include the white thread because we'll use it. It might not be fed very well, but I hope it's enough. It's as close to the loop, one backward and forward. Okay, so for the second row, we need 6 knots. So it will be 2, 1, 1, 1, and then 1 out from here. So we look at these last 2 threads on the left, hold with the red, and then make 1 backward forward knot. So onto 2 yellow gold threads and 1 red. And then 4 forward knots. And then 1 forward backward knot. So the first row on the left side is the same as the right side. So 3, 1, oh, and 3 on this other side, and so 2 in the center. Then we take the longer blue and then feed right over here. And then take the short white, which is 30 centimeters. Just add a little extra tape here. Okay. As far as it's stuck, it should be okay. So 3, 1, 1, 3. So first backward forward knot onto the 3 threads here. Two forward threads, 2 forward knots. And this one is the 60 centimeters one, the longer blue. And then together with this 3 gold threads, you put the white together and then 1 forward backward knot, so that we are feeding the white right here. Okay, so for the second row on the left side, now we need to divide the rightmost side into 3 and 1, the base strings, and then the 2 knots here, and then divide again, so the separate 1 thread. So now there are 6 groups, 4 single threads and 2 double threads on each side. So together with these 2 base strings and the white string, we make 1 forward, and here we use the clean back alpha technique. So take out the white onto the left side, and then onto this 2 base strings we make 1 backward knot. And then the next one is white, next knot. So keep the blue up, make 1 white knot, 1 backward knot, pass it through, and make the second half of the knot. So now the blue is included. Now keep the white up, make half of the backward knot with the blue onto the next one, pass the white, and then make the second half. There we go. And now we do another white. So keep when you make the knot with the white, keep the blue up, make half, and then pass the blue, and then white, second half of the knot, then keep the white up, and then now we need blue, so 1 half of the backward knot, and then pass the white, blue, and now again, because the last knot is blue, so keep the white up, make 1 blue, half of the blue, and now we just pass this together. So onto the 3 we make the last, so it was the backward forward knot, so the forward knot part. Now we just finished the 2 rows on both sides. Okay, so now we move on to the 3rd row, and the 3rd row, apart from the center 2, which will be always double base strings when we connect, so apart from those 2 threads, everything will be divided into 1 thread. So the 3rd row, it's all blue here and all red here. So, and then this white one, we actually will not use this because the rest we will use this white one. So we will include 1 more knot and then we'll cut later. So together with the leftmost, we make 1 backward, forward. I just keep inside and not separate. And now 6 forward knot. Let's see. And then make sure that you divide the two bass strings on the left side right here, and 7 or 6, sorry, 6, and now we connect with the red. So a little tricky here, but so what we do is the next knot, the first red knot on the third row, meaning the center one, should be onto these two. So one thread from here and one thread on the left and one thread from the right side. So separate these. So hope you can see well. So separate these, put this aside, and now make one, yes, sorry. So like this, make one forward, half of the forward knot, just like wrapping here. And then the blue one we pass to vertical way, just like this. And then make the second half of the forward knot. Make sure you separate here, so like the white one goes together with the rightmost thread. Then we make one last forward, backward. So here we just finished the third row. We move on to the fourth row. Okay, so before we start the fourth row, please take the short blue thread, which is 30 centimeters, about 30 centimeters, and please feed, just prepare here. I would just add here and make sure that it's together with the center double thread. We're going to include there later. So, and then, so the first one, so again, the number of knots will not change. So after you make this third row red one, and then hold together with the bass string, the rightmost bass string, and make one forward backward knot. And then now we make 7 backward knots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the 7th one, we make sure that we'll use all the 4 threads. So I'll first make 6 backward knots, and then I explain. Now for the center one, the first knot should be on the other four. So yes, it gets a little thick here, and then we will need the blue, so make sure that the longer blue, which we had been using, will go on the left side before the second half of the knot, which we will knot onto just the 3. So the first half is onto the 4, 2 gold, 2 blue, and the second half of the knot is only onto the 2 bass strings and the blue string, which we just added. And then we will keep that white, which we just used, up here. Make sure that that row is straight, and then we make 1 blue knot. So make sure you do half of the knot past the white, blue, and now the next one will be white, so keep the blue up, and then make 1 half of the white knot. This row, which we alternate, so pass blue, keep the white up. Now we use the blue half, so this is just alternating, and then pass the white, finish this knot. Now keep the blue up, make the knot with the white, pass the blue, and so if you have watched my previous tutorials about clean back alpha, I think you find this quite familiar, and if not, I hope this is useful for you to understand. So blue, and then pass the white, and make the second half of the knot, and then one last white on this row, white, pass the blue, so we have already passed this white one. Before it gets too confusing, if you like, you can do probably one more knot, but the white short thread that we used to make the first row with the white, you can put it aside so that you can cut later, which I will do right here. So that we have now fewer threads to worry about. So the last one will be one backward, forward knot, but make sure that you make one backward, then pass the white vertically, and then make one forward knot. We just finished the 4th row. And now we will do the 5th row, and the 5th row we just finished from right to left, but we actually go back to right because we need the red thread. So, and that's the reason that we fed the blue thread in the center, because we will use that now. So the same number of threads again, yes, not again. So this one is actually pretty easy. One forward backward knot to start with, and apart from the center, we just make knots on single bass strings. So one for backward notes. So now let's see, make sure that six backward notes. 6 backward notes before we do the center one. So 6 backward notes. And then onto these 3. So the blue string that we fed in the row before, we make 1/2 of the backward knot. Take the blue out onto the left and make 1 more backward, second half of the backward knot. And now we use this blue thread to make the backward knot, and then this red one, keep it on the above to pass it through. So 1/2, make the red thread go down, and then make the second half of the backward knot. And then we make 5 backward knots with the blue. The tension of the knot is always hard for me, and that's probably the hardest thing about alpha for me. 1, 2. And then I will just knot onto the last 3, backward, forward, knot, okay. So for next row, I will use the same thread as I just used. So I just finished the backward, forward knot. Take this, and then again it's the same number of knots on the 6th row of this heart. So I'll just make 1/2 of the backward, forward knot here, and then the important thing is take out the white, and then knot onto this gold and blue with the second half of the backward, forward knot. Then keep the white up, make 1 more blue knot, but make sure that you pass the white so that it will be reversible. So pass the white, and there you go. Now keep the blue up, make 1 white, pass the blue, make 1 more white. Now keep the white up, make the knot with 1 blue, pass the white, and second half of the forward knot. Now keep the blue up, make 1 more white, pass the blue, and finish the white knot. And then keep the white up, 1 more blue. So it needs a little bit of a brainstorming. And then this white, yes, so pass, and then make the second half of the blue. After making 6 knots, for the 7th knot, you will be knotting onto this gold and red. So we make 1 half onto these 2, and then pass the white, and then, because we will not use the red one on this row, keep vertically. There you go. And now keep the blue up, and now the next one is a double bass strings. Make 1 white, half, pass the blue vertically, and finish the knot here. And then 7 white knots. So 6 forward knots and 1 forward backward knots. And then here, the 7th row, we will have to shape. So we take 2 threads from 2 knots, and then make 1 backward forward knot. And then make first the 4 forward knots with the blue. And then this time, when you knot onto this golden red, you separate the second half. So first half onto these 2, and then separate the red, and then make the second half of the knot. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 7th knot, which is the center. This time compared to this one, I will just change a little bit. Instead of having the knot onto all the 4, so first we do, so one way, the way I did was to make 1 knot here and pass, because the blue is already done, pass it vertically following the rule, and then knot onto it. But instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is I pass 1 more knot, so that I will still have just 3 bass strings that I knot onto, to have a little less lumpiness here. And then the next knot, keep the blue 1 more time up, make 1 half of the knot, and then now I pass vertically, so that I cut the blue, I will cut the blue threads after 1 more row, but so that I don't have to cut all together from 1 knot. And we'll knot, so I did 2 red, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 red knots. And then, so we shape, so there's white from the former row, and then 2 bass strings. So onto this we make 1 forward backward knot. so for the 8th row, we just do all the row with the white knots, white threads, and it has we don't change we just shaped the row before, and this one we do exactly the same number of knots as the previous row. So we just hold the red thread here and then just wrap all the 3, make sure that we just make one forward backward knot onto all the 3 here. And then all the way forward knots, and I'll just do one more. One of the blue threads, we already did one extra row, but I'll just do all the way, and then we'll put it on the back. So. And now we do the red row, and so we went from right to left. Again, we go from right to left, and this time we have to shape one row. So now we have 2 base strings from the same knot. I include one more, so put 3 together and then make one forward backward knot. Then make backward knots all the way. And then the last knot we shaped here again, so including this white thread and the 2 threads, one more, so 3 base strings and 1 white string. So 1 backward, forward knot. Okay, so we have 5 more rows, and it follows the same pattern as I just did. So shaping both sides by 1 knot each, and then after this it will be white, red, white, and the last 2 rows are all red. So I'll just show without explanation from here. Okay, so I just finished until 12th row, and then for the last knot, you can do one backward forward or forward backward knot this way, which I did for this one. Or you can flip over and do it on the back side, which I will do now. So I just pass this in the middle, center. So that the knot itself will not be shown. I think either way is fine. I'm just showing some alternative here. Perfect. And I just did forward and backward knot to just tighten this. And yes, I think it's good. And then I use, I'm sure it looks great, fine to use the red one. Actually, I might try that. Maybe that's actually easier. Or I just do the yellow. Yes, so what I usually do is I just cut one of the threads from here and on the base string and use it for the wrap knot. Or if you like to prefer to use the red one, I think that's also fine. I might just use the same one as I did, so just make sure that you have enough. And of course you can use some different thread too. I think it might be too short to make the wrap knot. Hopefully it's enough. And then with this white thread, I just keep it here. And this one I showed already in my previous tutorials. So just and just adjust. Try to hide the thread and this. Then I just trim everything now. blue for like a sky, and this is for the gold color. And I'm thinking that maybe like a light purple or like light pink or even light green would be nice. And so I hope you enjoyed watching, and hope you enjoy making it too. So thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you soon.